Hello everybody, and welcome back to round 6. We have here the game from Owyen Kamerman. I'm Marcos Pataro, and I'm joined here by Philip Schultz. How you doing, Philip?
Great, and I'm really excited to see this. We had some great games already, and we're having so many interesting new decks, so it's always interesting to see. And yeah, having Owen on stream, I hope that we will get more than 5 minutes to see from him, because so far every time we had him, yeah, he just stomped his opponents in like no time at all.
Exactly, but that as well shows how strong Pikarom is right now. One of my favorite decks, and I think a deck that really needs to be dealt with in the meta. I think that's the deck to pick. To be fair, look at it. Look at his start already. He's going first, but he does have already a very convincing start. He does have the Tandem mounting, and which means if next turn he's gonna draw an energy, he will be able to full blitz on turn 2, going first.
Yeah, so that's of course great. Getting the early full bit's always amazing, and yeah, going first is also usually what you want to do. And yeah, he already has an amazing hand here. He also has an electro power getting ready. And he just needs to find basically some good Pokemon, and then he's set for everything. And
Exactly. Oh, there's a Crushing Hammer, however. This might switch it up. There's a Heads, discarding that Pikarom. That might be really relevant. And as well, look at the opponent. He's playing the Mr. Mime with the Scoop Up block, which I think is, again, very, very nice in this kind of meta in which Scoop Up Net has become such a important card that people have played. And yeah, very well done for the opponent to already predict.
Yeah, that's a very interesting addition for sure. Kinda really cool to see that people are countering it so early already. And yeah, we've seen a lot of decks. Scoop Up Net just being such an amazing card, and like having a card like Mr. Mime can actually be a huge game changer. And maybe more decks will opt to include it. That's definitely interesting to see.
Exactly, and the opponent is playing actually the Dragapult deck. It does start with the Degene, which, you know, against Pikarom is sometimes scary to bench down a Degene, but there's a Chaotic Swell as well. Very nice. Excellent start here, I would say.
Yep.
So there's the Dragapult getting charged up slowly. It's a deck that cannot touch right away, but even a Marnie, a lot of disruption from the version that the opponent is playing. But obviously the Pikarom plays so much support, so much cards that can help out its deck in the difficult situation. And there we go, there's a Professor Research already in hand. So let's see what Owyen is able to pull off right now. He will be able, if he draws enough good cards, to full blitz turn 1. But at the same time, it's a Dragapult deck. He can take his time.
Yep, and I've just looked it up. His opponent's name is Haruto Yasuke from Japan. And yeah, so Japan, of course, currently doesn't have tournaments either. So they, just like the rest of the world, didn't have the option to get ahead in the meta and figure it out already. But yeah, Haruto definitely showing that he's quite aware of which cards are good. And yeah, interesting to see how well Japanese players will do in this format, since it's new for them as well. And they are often what defines the meta for us Western players, because
Exactly.
Because they are the first to get the cards, and they are always very creative players as well.
Indeed. The Japanese decks always, as we already said many times, they're fine-tuned for their tournament structure, which is 30 minutes. But I think it's really good for them in this situation, because the Limitless Qualifier has a very similar structure to the Japanese tournaments. And there we go, coming back from the game, Owyen is already setting up, getting those 2 energies. You will be able to retreat for free and charge up thanks to that Bolton V. There it is, 2 extra energies being attached. On the Pikarom, I believe, so he's already set up so much support here for the Lightning deck, which will also not lose much in the rotation.
Yeah, and with Crushing Hammers being so huge now, now Haruto with his Dragapult deck will have the advantage instead of facing a powered up Pikachu Zekrom and a powered up additional Pokemon. Yeah, so really great, and he's also showing the Mimikyu, another tech Pokemon, so he seems to be going for a lot of those tech Pokemon. And yeah, it's
There's the Crushing Hammer again, 1 hit, that's really massive, and especially since now Pikarom does play those special energies, it's even more effective.
Yep.
You can able to discard those energies that cannot be fetched up. But it actually decides to go for the Lightning, but 1 more Crushing Hammer, 1 more Heads!
And ooh, that's
massive.
Huge. Now, he doesn't have a
Massive.
Dragapult VMAX yet, but if he's able to find one and he can put one damage counter on the
Exactly.
Zeraora and prevent it from, prevent its ability from functioning. And oh, there's the Dragapult V, so wow,
Exactly.
amazing setup from Haruto. Of course, also great crushing hammer flips here, seeing 3 heads already. So, of course, huge.
Spectacular, really. That's the power of flip cards. They can switch up games that seem to be in a difficult situation already. But look at this: 130 damage already on the Bolton, 10 damage, 40 damage actually on that Pikarom. It's gonna be pretty hard here for Owen to pull off the. Actually, you can do it right away. Sorry, my bad. You can just take the energy switch, one energy, and it will be able to possibly take the knockout. If sorry, just 150
Yeah,
with
he,
the full
he,
blitz.
he still needs a switching card for, because thanks to the Mimikyu, Zeraora's ability doesn't function
Oh yeah,
anymore.
there's a Mimikyu. Exactly.
So
Wow.
yeah, like Haruto support Pokemon doing quite a bit here.
Massive.
And
Absolutely massive. Decides to go for the Dennett. That's a fair play. Only one card in the opponent's hand. And if it's not a supporter or a way to retreat, we might see Owen slowly climbing back into this game. But let's see.
yep, for sure. One of the options. And it's
No!
Professor's Research.
Owen,
Wow.
oh my god, even the super. But the super scoop up, I think the Mr. Mime only blocks your opponent. I'm not too sure. Fair?
Yeah, I'll
Um,
look it up real quick.
yeah.
Probably yes, because otherwise it
So
would
there's the
be.
Max Phantasm taking the knockout, already getting on the lead, and you see Owen was before almost clicking on the emote button. Already surprised by the opponent play, but there's the Pikarom on the active finally. But with already 90 damage on it, how much can it do really?
Yeah. And was 19 damage, of course. It will get 40 more damage if it attacks into this Dragapult, which means that it will get knocked out afterwards. So, really commanding position for Haruto here. All he needs basically is finding some more energies at some point to power up his second Dragapult VMAX, and I
Yep.
don't see much that Owen can do to come back from this.
Owen opening happens now, Max, but because then the opponent would need one more turn to set up. But really, can you knock out this Pokemon? Can you? I don't think you can.
I mean, technically it's possible for Electro
It
Power and
is
Deck Bolt.
possible, but it's Professor Research. But look at his end. He does have a Degenerate to push forward, which I think he needs to. Obviously, Zeraora as well is shut down, as you said, thanks to that Mimikyu. Oh man.
And I think actually that Owen hardly has any energies left in his deck, maybe like one. So
Yes, we saw before. He had Shu, he drew one, so probably yeah,
yeah,
just one.
so just one energy, so he won't be able to do even anything. I mean, he can't even charge up another Pokemon with his Full Blitz, so his active Pika will go down after Full Blitz, and he won't be able to accelerate any more energies. So it's looking so hard for him right now.
The 7 energies already in the discard. Like 6 energies in the discard. That's the energy switch. I think he needs to go for that Lone Raichu this turn. If he's able to pull it off, great. His deck is full of resources, but there's also a Chaotic Swell stopping him, for example, to have that Thunder Mountain that he just drew. Oh man, this Dragapult VMAX deck is actually showing up to be in a in this format with this slowly the opponent down format. It's actually doing pretty well.
Yeah, and of course, Haruto's playing a high RNG build with the 4 Super Scooper and the 4 Crushing Hammer. I know other people that
Yeah.
did similar things before.
Indubitably, it is
But
a
yeah,
deck that is very high variance. But
yep.
sometimes that's what you need in a big tournament. Just have the
Yep.
variance on your side.
Yeah, and other than that, however, he also plays very interesting cards. So like the Mimikyu, for example, is a card that I haven't thought about in the Dragapult deck, but it seems to be extremely useful here. And
Indeed, and as well that
yeah,
Mr. Mime that we saw, so many
exactly.
tags, and that's a very good thing I think about when you have many sets. You are able to like take the best card from each that you need that your deck misses out, and then you just add it in, and then you have the responses to certain types of decks.
Exactly.
So there we go. The opponent, if he will be able to knock out this Pikarom this turn, then he would need to knock out another of the Pokemon. But wow, that's the 0-hour as well, being caught up by the Dragapult. Very massive here.
Yep.
It will mean that now the Max Phantasm will deal damage to the Zero Aura, grinding it down to very low HP, and then eventually just getting knocked out by the Horror Energies, because Owyen is still at 6 prizes.
And yeah, smart play by Haruto. He's in such a commanding position that he figures that the only way that Owyen can ever come back into this game is through reset stamp. So he just opts to like set up a play where he wins in one turn instead of needing a couple. And yeah,
This
making
way
sure
as well, he's less threatened by, for example, a reset stamp.
Exactly.
There's a Malolana, however, here by Owyen, which might just set back one turn the Dragapult deck.
Yeah, this
How much can be done?
Yeah.
So Malolana.
This changes a bit. Now he's able to take the knockout, but still he doesn't have a one-shot threat for the next Dragapult, and he didn't take any prizes in the early game, so he's not able to close out the game anytime soon.
Exactly.
And Haruto,
I think his best way right now is to possibly try either one of the GX really works. The Raichu and Raichu with 2 Electro Power would take the knock. No, actually it doesn't take the knockout by 10 HP. Probably just have to close this down by Tag Bolt, I would guess. Something on the bench. But that's really hard as well. Oof.
Yeah, it's really tough. And
so
yeah,
that's the Pikarom. Let's see what he goes for. Probably the full Blitz here. Does take the knockout. Takes a quick ball as well. Fetches up the Danny, but I think there are no more energies in the deck. He just decides to go for that the Deadly Change. Good. Or no? Even a Big Charm. Interesting.
Yeah, he probably wants to hold on that Big Charm. The Dennis seems like something that Haruto will probably target next turn. Or like, I guess. I mean, Haruto probably takes the knockout here and targets one of the Dennis or Zeraora, so having the Big Charm afterwards to protect it seems pretty good for him.
Exactly. As you said, he's in a very commanding position right now. This knockout, however, might switch things up. But do you still think he has the lead in this game?
Yeah, I still think it looks pretty good, especially if he can find a Fiona here or a boss's order. He probably doesn't want to attack into the Pika since he can just easily snipe it off with his attack, and yeah, there's the Fiona. So yeah, that helps a lot. Because all of those benched Pokemon are great targets for Haruto.
Exactly. Obviously, this Mimic as well is very oppressive. The Pikarom deck relies a lot on that 0-hour to make things happen. For example, the Raichu and Alolan Raichu really benefits with that Tandem Shock attack. But if you can't do that, then, eventually in the late game, you will not have enough switches to pull things out.
Yep.
So let's see. There's a Fiona.
Yep.
Great catcher as well.
Ooh, going for great catch. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I think he's just going for gold here.
Also, going for Zeraora seems kind of interesting. That he's not.
Seems fine with the Horror Energy. Would be able to close out the game. If you actually no, he would need one more damage, right?
I would have expected him to rather go for Raichu and the Lowland Raichu. Just because then this on the one hand makes it much harder for Owyen to use Tandem Shock.
Yep.
And on the other hand, having this damaging this Raichu means that if Owyen it's Owyen's only attacker. So if he attacks with it, he has his damaged Pokemon in the active.
Exactly. As you said, it would have been nice to bring it up in the active, so the Tandem Shock would have required two switches in order to happen. And as well, this reset stamp is really massive. And he has the switch as well in hand. So maybe this paralysis will actually close out the game. It really needs what Haruto drew out of that single card. So let's see.
Yeah, that's a very interesting play. I think I would have preferred Haruto to either catch up the Raichu or just use his Fiona.
Mhm.
without and saving the great catcher so that he can draw something like the
Yeah,
Professor's
he needed
Research.
the research to draw an energy because he didn't have a way to attack.
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah, if we needed, he probably just said, "Let's just dump it because I will need to do it anyway." So that's the 160. And paralyzed. That's the very important part. This right turn or right to next turn will be able to knock it out if it has an extra. Oh, there's a Cynthia. If it has an electro power, he will be able to knock it out with the lightning ride.
Yep,
But
for sure.
yeah, oh, this is very close. Did he find a way to retreat?
And we will see.
Tense
What did he
moment.
draw? He draws 6 out
Oh,
of his
reset
10
stamp.
cards.
It's okay. That's a Volkner, however. That's super scoop up.
And
That's the head, and
the heads on
wow,
scoop up.
that's pretty sad. Luckily for him, this doesn't close out the game yet,
Yeah.
because you would need, 2 energies to attack with the Dragon Bolt, unless he has another attack. But there's the air balloon. Oh man, pretty sad here. But obviously, that's as you said, the heads have been all on the side of Haruto this game.
Yeah, he did flip 2 tails on his super scoop ups earlier on, but
Yeah.
those weren't
Between the
really very
hammers
crucial.
and the SSU, it really, really worked well. So yeah, just switching onto the Dene with this Fiona, I do like this play.
I'm not really
And just
sure.
passes.
I'm not really sure because that kind of activates Tandem Shock again. But yeah, if he just passes with a Mimico active, it's better than nothing, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Leaving the right channel and right to on the active would have been a really good play as well. But probably just wants to free up space in the bench. I don't know. There could be many things, or maybe it was just he thought it would not be too much relevant. He knows probably all the switches are out. There's a Volkner as well. He could fetch up that Great Catcher or that Reset Stamp as well. So let's see. Reset Stamp, putting once again Haruto down to 1 card. And he used most of his supporters.
Yeah, but he also often only has 5 cards left in his deck, so he has this Dana and he can definitely make sure that he has everything to close out the game next turn.
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure if there was an Electro Power left, but I do believe there was one, and
I think there was.
Yeah, and there
Super
was...
scoop up again? Okay, tails. Everybody relax. It's not done yet. It's not as massive as it is. But boss orders!
But I don't think
No
that's
way!
enough. That's,
Bite
that's
30
just...
damage. This would
yeah.
mean it would go to a tie, so probably a sudden death. But
I mean, the 20
because
damage
of
is
the
only on the
core-
active Pokemon, so the Zero are still fine.
yeah,
But the
he
question
does
is
need...
just if Oven has another switching card. Otherwise,
Yeah.
oh, actually, the Mimikyu's gone now.
Yeah, the Mimic is gone, so I can do the energy switch.
But he doesn't have any energies anymore. Yeah. And
yeah, he would. No, he would have needed to. No, he couldn't do it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he couldn't do it anyways. He would have been 1 card short.
1 card short.
Yeah, he could have energy switched the energy to the
for
active.
those that didn't. Actually survived.
Actually,
but,
no. Wait. No, actually, Oven could have just switched the energy to the active before the research, then retreat, energy switch the energy back, and then he would have had Great Catcher and Tandem Shock to take the game on with the Dennis. So I guess Oven would have. Unless I'm missing
little
something.
misplay here.
Yeah.
I'm just considering. Yeah, he could have done it because energy switch 1 turn. Energy. If the opponent was not able to knock it out, energy switch again, and then he would able to Great Catcher.
No, I mean he discarded an energy switch this turn. I mean, before the research, he had an energy switch in his hand.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, he could have just gone before the Didana. I mean, so just energy switch to the active, Didana, draw his last cards. He drew 4 cards. So,
oh man.
So he had the energy switch to retreat, switch energy back, and then Great Catcher. I guess Oven probably forgot that Mimikyu's ability is not in play anymore because
Gone, yeah.
Yeah, he got so used to it during the game, and then after he took the knockout on the Mimikyu, I guess he just forgot that he's able to retreat with Zeraora again. Or
many other things at play here as well. You know, a lot of heads being against you. It's always hard to keep your calm.
It's not easy to
RNG.
keep focused.
It could have been a million things, but Owen has played well overall. Just the last thing, the last mile could have made the difference.
Yeah. Unfortunate ending here, since Owen was in such a bad position in the early game, but managed to play himself back into the game, but then with Yeah, but when in the end, he had the game, but he missed it, probably forgetting that Mimikyu, and so the win goes to Haruto and his Dragapult deck, moving on to 5-1. So, yeah,
Indeed, indeed.
very strong score. And yeah, for now we will go to a quick break. The next round should be up very soon, so don't go anywhere.
Make money
See
today
you soon.